Ladies and gentlemen, we back. Intro.
Yeah, whatever.
They cheer my name so loud I can't complain. I hear them say we sold out, I can't complain. They cheer my name so loud I can't complain.
Tough acts to follow. How does that phrase resonate with you, Scott, man? Especially in the creative world. The pressures of following up. Oh, can they do it again?
I think that it all comes down to, like, I guess your ability to, like, let go of what already happened. You know what I mean? Like when you drop something, like if we're talking music, like I drop an album, it's like, oh, can I follow it up with something better? Yeah, of course you can. You just gotta do it. You know what I mean? You can't like think about it too much.
The fact that we're where we're at in our respective careers and as Scapegoat, we're always gonna have that question looming in the back of our heads at some point in a creative process. Say if you made a beat that's fire, whether it's a hard-hitting banger, a soul sample, some disco shit, it's like, damn, can I do this again? And the fact that we even have to have that question present is kind of a gift and a curse. When the outside people also try to put that on you too, for certain people, they'll let it be like, damn, now I gotta follow this up with the exact same thing.
And that's where
they go wrong, and they get stuck in a moment.
Took one step forward to take two steps back.
Yeah, like for us, I'll say that we didn't follow the first project up, and I'm doing air quotes as y'all can see. We kind of put our inner child out, did what we did with it. They interpret it how they interpret it. We interpret it how we interpret it, and then we kind of just what's over there now? Like, you know what I mean?
Wiped hands. And even if like the new project has like bits and pieces, elements of the first in there,
right?
It's never like we just copy and pasted again. It's not like we just made, all right, let's make another You're Gonna Hate Me.
I also noticed that when you have more of a time period to sit with something, you could either think about it too much. Think about how our inner child was, where we worked on it, kind of sat with it but didn't, as compared to this one. Like this one, listening to it over and over more, in comparison with the first one, because they were both made in pretty close proximity. So I asked that question to start because I want to ask you this now.
Hit me.
Do you think we followed it up, that tough act to follow syndrome, in comparison to this project?
Yes. I very much like the first project.
As do I.
Our Inner Child is great.
Yes. 5
wonderful tracks that we put together in 48 hours. That's cool.
Yeah.
But we took we went the extra mile. We took a little more time. We added, like we made it a little longer.
Right.
And for me, it's like all of that only did us good, because like the second one is just so much because again, like I was saying, we took like maybe bits and pieces of our inner child, like stuff, not necessarily literal musically, but like just the overall. We took that shit and expanded on it. We didn't just go, all right, let's do the thing again. Let's do the thing again and then some.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Even to the literal making of it, like, say for example, with Sirens, I started the foundation of it, but we didn't just leave it at that. Like with the first project, it would be like, all right, I made this beat, fleshed it out, it's a song. You made a beat, fleshed it out, it's a song. Fire, yes. But with Sirens, for example, I started something and you're just like scribbled over the canvas. And it's like, oh shit, I see another painting within the painting
on top of.
Exactly. And that could even be said with us vocally. There'd be times where I would lay something down and you're like, nah, try saying it like this. So it's more of a team effort with this time around, which sounds weird to say.
A lot more.
Which sounds weird to say because you would think it's like, well, y'all are on all of the songs of the first project too. So how is it more of a team effort? I guess it's more of like we both did 100% on the school project versus like, all right, I took it home. All right, Scott, man, now you take the project home. It's like, nah, we both were at home at the same crib, doing it at the same time, so to speak. And I feel like, to answer my own question, not only did we follow it up, we fucking smoked that shit. And
facts.
Y'all will see as time plays on how the story continues with that. What do you think you learned in between these two projects? Like, the first project was done. We're starting the second one. Second one is done. What's like some things you've learned about yourself, about Scapegoat, maybe even about me?
Yeah. I'd say probably like the first thing that came to mind when you asked me this was like taking time, because I know this is something y'all don't obviously see very often or anything, but like the way we make music is very like, all right, fuck it, go. But I feel like with the second project and like other stuff we've worked on is like, we didn't just slap shit together this time.
Yeah.
Like the first one kind of felt like, all right, I'm gonna do a hook. All right, cool. I'm gonna lay this on top of that. All right, cool. Let me do Addies. All right, cool. I got this verse. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And this, it was like, we were both sitting there, like, when, even if I'm the one in the seat making the beat, you're still right next to me like, nah, let's do this instead. And then when we went into the making of the, exactly,
it's
like
literally that.
Just that, but back and forth between us, and then like on top of that, the writing being so much stronger, like
more potent.
Yeah, you take the rap tracks of the first project and the rap tracks of this one. There's no contest.
There's no contest.
Like we really I feel like we really just honed in on all elements.
Exactly. And it's so much more grand.
Yeah.
Like you press play, like
the strings are off the charts.
Even if this project isn't an hour and 30 minutes like most normal albums are in today's music stratosphere, for those who are getting to this project at a later time, the only thing I could say going into it is, don't listen to this album if you got something to do in 20 minutes. Because even though the project isn't 20 minutes itself, once you get to the end, you're going to want to take the time to be like, all right, what the fuck did I just listen to? Like, you know what I mean? And for those who expected, because we know people probably expected something based off the first project, and that's
or
normal.
Pray We Let It Go.
Yeah, or even Pray We Let It Go. People probably had a certain idea of like, all right, they're gonna go here now, but it's like, nah, there's so many different. We went over there and over here, and we came back here and back there, and it's like 80 different beams just shooting out in like 80 different directions. But we also let the music do the talking too. This is more of a us question, and y'all can answer this in y'all own head because y'all have had time to sit with it too. How'd you feel about the album when it was first done, and then now that we've had time to sit with it?
It's a good question.
It's out. We've had shows, music videos. We've had the accoutrements with it. Did that change any opinion on it? Good, bad? You know, how did that play out for you?
When we first finished the project, because these two bodies of work were made pretty close conjunction with each other. It wasn't like there was like months between each.
Or like a year.
Yeah, it was like a few
yeah.
weeks, maybe even less, that we started the second one. And
conceptualized it. Yeah.
So with that, it's like off rip, before we even finished the project, I already thought that we had surpassed what we did in the first one. I think the first one was like a really good test run. Really good test. And then the second one is, in my opinion, the real first one. In actuality, like the real, like, you know what I'm saying?
And this is still when we first finished it that you're saying that?
Even while we was making it, that's how I was feeling. Like, all right, this is really what we wanted to do.
Was there a song in the process that captured that and like stamped that opinion, or as soon as we start, like, I want to be very meticulous with this question.
It was like, we did Too Many Humans first, right?
Yes.
That was the first one? Yeah, okay.
And you had started the percussion and drums of that.
And I had a couple of them little weird-ass sounds, and then you took it, and like, it was like a couple tracks in. Like, after we did Too Many Humans and we finished that song, I was like, this is what we're doing it. Like, this is why we're actually here. Like, it not because of You're Gonna Hate Me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not because of pop star or anything. Like, them songs are fire, but like, this is the reason why a Scapegoat Yes-Men should exist to me. Like, shit like that.
It's like when a child learns how to walk and he's stumbling at first, but then 3 months later he's fucking sprinting.
No, literally, our inner child walked so that I wish I could run, bro.
The title.
Oh, I should have guessed how we feel about the album itself and the music itself. I feel like the title encapsulates that, because Our Inner Child Was Kidnapped, We're Trying to Get It Back is a very long title, and it's a lot of mouth pause.
It is.
And I wish I could, but I can't is not.
And the title even like can like speak for us. People be like, "Oh, tell us more about the album." I wish I could, but I can't. Why? Because press play, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? The atoms and the particles in the air, like, this shit has already been here. You can't really explain how they formed, why they're here, what the purpose is. You're just utilizing that resource.
Yeah.
This project being out and being received the way it is, that is kind of the answer to it. We can't tell y'all how to interpret it. I wish I could, but I can't. You know what I mean? Because it's such a statement. Like, and we wanted Our Inner Child, and I feel like for that time period and the mindsets we had, we did what we did. But with this one, we really wish we could, but we can't. Why? Because press play, like, listen to it, then come back to us, then tell us how you feel, instead of asking us what we like to explain it for. It's like when someone tries to explain a movie and like the plot, and you haven't seen it, so you're only going off of
what they're talking
about. You could only go off of what we're saying right now. So I wish I could tell you how to feel, but I wish we could, but we physically can't.
How do you feel about the rollout of this album in comparison to the first one? Because that's a thing that's outside of the music itself. That's an extracurricular piece.
Because we could have easily just dropped it.
Yeah, and Our Inner Child was like our introduction to Scapegoat Yes-Men as a whole. So like,
that was kind of the rollout in itself.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it?
That's a good ass question.
Yeah. How do you feel about it in comparison?
Yeah. I'll start kind of backwards with this one.
Okay.
So with this new body of work, it exudes so much confidence within the world of it, around it. This is the body of work. The outer crust. Picture it like the earth. The earth's core is the music when you go listen to it. Everything around it, the Pangea of it all has formed. And the shows, the merch, like, there's a whole world with this. There's a whole, there's more. There's more. but not in a way where it's shoved down your throat. Even with Pray We Let It Go, with the Have You Seen Scapegoat Yes-Men, and having a lore behind it, and like, whoa, these guys are missing, what the fuck? Because people were really like, yo, what are y'all, I just spoke to you yesterday. What do you mean, have I seen you? It's like, but have you seen us? They hadn't yet. And I feel like with this project, they're seeing us. So that's my initial reaction and feeling to the rollout.
Okay.
As compared to the first project, while it's been out, we have visualizers, we have the Pop Star Anthem video, we have the first conversation. We had some stuff to where we didn't just leave it bare bones, but we still had that bit of, for lack of a better word, uncertainty. You can see it with, like, if you go to the numbers visualizer, the bright future visualizer, it's like, yes, the ideas are there. The fact that there is more to go with the album, we kind of, like Scottman said earlier, took those pieces of like, all right, we were on the right track. We're walking. We're a bit stumbly. We're trying to climb up the stairs. We trip. We get up. Keep going. And not trip as in dropping the ball at all. It's just, with this one, we knew exactly what we wanted to do. We had a whole show. Like, not just someone pressing play and the beat is playing, we're just jumping around. Nah, we set this shit up to where who we want to have as a DJ, who we want to, like, we never really had that much hands-on control before with the merch aspect. Merch is something that we've always wanted and always was going to strive for, no matter what project, whether it was his solo work or mine. It's just the fact that this is the project where we did it with. Because we could have easily waited till the 8th Scapegoat project to do all that.
Yeah, we did the damn thing.
We did the damn thing. And that's how I feel about the rollout. Very proud of it. Very proud of it. And I know you feel
oh,
exactly
yeah, 100%.
The artwork.
I was going to ask you about that,
Let's
too.
get to the artwork.
Yeah.
For me, it's such a, follow me here, y'all, a step back. As far as with the first project, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. The meme of like, can you name anything in this?
Yeah, any object.
That's like the first project. With this one, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at because there's not really nothing to look at.
Yeah.
But I love that though.
That quality of it, yeah.
And that shade of brown with the little splotches that there.
It kind of looked like a corkboard.
Something like that.
Yeah, the way the brown looks and the graininess of it kind of gives me that vibe, and then it just has like the weird bird thing at the top. When we announced Our Inner Child, just like the fact that we were dropping an album, we gave people the cover art, and I heard a lot of people like being like, yo, really fuck with the cover, I'm hype, you know what I mean? And just that alone got people interested, and then they heard the music and they kind of coincide.
They married the two, yeah.
But I feel like with this one, it's like, all right, y'all got the cover, but I think this time they're like almost separate from each other to me. Like the music isn't so like y'all can get what's about to happen in the music just from the picture itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're kind of like, all right, we got the cover art and I fuck with it. We got the music and I fuck with it. You know what I mean?
A lot of albums and a lot of their artworks kind of sometimes dictate the music, and I'm sure y'all can name albums that y'all like. Not saying that's a bad thing, but that's a common thing that I've been noticing.
Almost like where the cover's more iconic than the songs themselves.
Yeah. To kind of go back to my original question, how did you think the people would receive it as far as that? All right, the first movie is good, but what will the sequel do?
We're definitely not disappointing anybody. That's for sure. I don't think we're disappointing anyone. And I think that in an alternate universe, we could have. But in this universe that we're living in currently, the timeline that y'all are seeing us through.
Right.
We did not fumble any bag. None of that shit.
No, sir.
Even if there are people who are the Gen 1ers who liked the first one more, cool, I guess. It's not a big deal. You're still rocking with Scapegoat Yes-Men.
Yeah.
But I think that people will appreciate this one more for how much more in depth we went and the lengths we were willing to go in certain areas, because the production especially I think is a huge step up.
Huge.
We are, for the most part, pretty good with the writing and the rapping and the singing and the whatever, but like I feel like this project took the elements that weren't that and pushed that shit forward a lot more.
It really showcased our skills as arrangers.
Oh yeah,
as
the song structures are so gas,
and having each part have to where like the standout part of the song isn't just the hook,
bro.
You know what I mean?
God,
because
bro,
there will be songs,
God, bro.
And I'm speaking for myself too, to where, and y'all can play this game with us too, where certain people's favorite parts might be a bridge or an outro
or a verse
or even just the way we might chop something. They might want to re-listen to the song again for a specific part that only happens once. It's like, nope, you thought it was going to happen again. Nope, that's it.
Don't get too comfy.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like this album was going to confuse a lot of people. Confuse.
I think that'll happen later. I'm not gonna speak too much, but I think that'll happen later. I don't think that's gonna happen yet. But I think that'll happen later. I think that'll happen later. I don't think we're there.
Remember he said that.
I don't think we're there yet. I don't think
Remember
we're there
he said that. Listening through our inner child, it's pretty safe to have an opinion on it. Like, that's like, this is my opinion on our inner child. With this one, this is going to be very polarizing. Even like what your favorite standout is, or your favorite couple of standouts are.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Our inner child is definitely safer.
Exactly. That
Definitely
shit
safer.
might flip on you to where Spin the Block is your favorite. You listen to that shit tomorrow. Oh shit. Or like too many.
Ice Cup.
Yeah, like to where it's going to be a very confusing, elongated process to where you could listen back to this project a year later and be like, you know what? Why the fuck didn't I like why the fuck is Ice Cup hitting me the way it is now versus when I first heard it? That's how I looked at it.
So less confusing in terms of like they're confused by the music, but more that they are like
how they're sitting with it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Might switch on them.
That makes sense.
I use confused as just the overall consensus of it. Last question for you, Scott Man, on my end. As Scotty Miller, Scotty M, Scott Man, Sir Scott, how is this album gonna play a role in how you make your own music moving forward, being as this album is so impactful for us as it is, such leaps and bounds? How are you taking this?
I'm gonna want you to answer this question too.
Okay.
I want both of us to answer this question because you're not getting out of it.
I'm not getting that. All right. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, moving forward for Scott, man.
So, because obviously, like we have talked about earlier, we made this a little bit ago. It's not like we made this a week before it dropped or anything. So, yeah, I mean, we've kind of had a little time to sit with it. So we've both made music since then. And for me, I think that this, alongside other things we've worked on outside of this project, I think just the whole thing is like, it like brought it brought me back a little more into like having fun. I feel like at a certain point, like even though I love songs like Worst Nightmare and Capiche, like
Classic.
Secret Safe with Me and like
Classic.
Raised from Above, I personally like that project a decent bit. Them shits is good. And I like doing the little remixes like Taxidermy and Ain't Shit Sweet. You know what I mean? But I think that after that point, And obviously y'all haven't gotten to hear this music yet, but I have.
Right.
I think that just like the amount of fun I have, I feel like I was able to like get a little bit out of my like my shell, my box of just like, oh, but I gotta make this song fire, and I have to have a good hook, and then I have to have good verses, and the beat has to be knocking. Like I just got out of that the way I go about arranging certain songs and just shit like that. You know what I mean? And that comes with every song, every project I make. There's always a piece that comes with me for the next thing. Like, all right, I'm taking this with me. Because like Pray We Let It Go, that happened as well. Where it's like, all right, I made first of the month. I wrote that shit. And I was like, I have a lot of fun just doing whatever. Like just making like some fucking like fun ass little song. That shit to me is so enjoyable. And like, obviously I was having fun before.
Right.
But I felt like after making some of the more recent Scapegoat stuff, I definitely like was like, all right, let me enjoy myself a little bit instead of just being so tighty and like having my pants too tight, you know what I mean? So yeah, that would be like the main thing. Obviously there's other things I could take into account, like pieces of like production or whatever. Like
I could tell that's the most potent thing for you that you took away
the fun.
The
fun of it.
For me, it unlocked my love of all types of music. Scott also loves all types of music. But for me, when I say that, when I'm making a rap song, I don't have to make a rap song.
Yeah.
Incorporating other elements into shit again. To where, not in a box, never that, but the things I would step into, I kind of had a tunnel vision for it. Like, all right, if I'm making a R&B song, it would be a R&B song. But now it'll be like a R&B adjacent with the different elements of all things that I'm into. So it kind of reinvigorate the fact of like, bro, I'll listen to like Lil B and then go to like fucking A Day to Remember. Why the fuck am I not incorporating my same music taste into my music creation? And this helped with that. You listen to Too Many Humans, Sewer Bread, Siren. It's like if you would have came to that and not felt like both of us are very musically versed, then I would have felt like we failed them in not displaying that. But we more than displayed that. I gotta keep doing that for my own art. Just keep displaying that to the best of my ability.
Okay. Any other final thoughts before we close this out?
Y'all keep doing what y'all doing.
Facts.
Whether that's in regards to us, in regards to yourselves, just keep it going, because best believe we'll do the same on our end.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means, I wish I could tell you.
How many times did we say it in this video?
Bro, we gotta have like
a shot.
We gotta
we
gotta have like a counter, like
as long as you're of age, by the way.
Yes, of age. But Scapegoat.
Yes, man.
We out.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Yo, real quick, for 2 seconds, can we get everyone to say, I love Scapegoat.
I love Scapegoat.
I love Scapegoat. I love Scapegoat. I love Scapegoat. I love Scapegoat.
Ladies and gentlemen. Wait. Oh, shit. Oh, we do it twice.
Yeah, so.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead.